Yes, y'all. We are live. Going really live right now. Give people a little time to come in the room. But as we stated in the previous video, if you watched the previous video, and yes, I know the screen is like that. It's on purpose for a minute. If you've watched the previous video, what I want to talk about today is your ability to build your brand. I told you why brand is important. Today, I'm going to show you things you can do to increase that, to increase your brand and what your brand means to people. So before we get into it, before we talk about it, there's been a lot going on in the world, and a lot has changed since the last time we did our thing. So real quickly, as the room fills up and people pops in, I want to talk a little bit about the idea of brand, right? So the video talks more about not getting confused with brand, not leaving it up to gear, not leaving it up to other things. You know, brand is the most important part of your business, and your brand will determine your ability to charge what you feel you're worth over what you want to get paid based off your quality. Quality is second to brand. And a lot of people don't understand this. They feel like if I go buy a camera that costs a certain amount of money and people hire me and my quality is good, I should be getting paid. I should be getting paid because I got the quality. What's going on, y'all? So a lot of people skip the brand part. They skip the brand part. They go straight into, hey, I have gear. I should be getting paid this. And it just don't work like that. Brand is the most important part of your pricing structure, to be honest with you. Brand is the most important part of the pricing structure. It's not always skill set. It's not always gear. It's not, if you have the brand there, you can charge almost what you want. That's why there's 10 different water companies that sell bottled water. Some bottled water is more expensive than others. Although a majority of them, when you read the small print on the back, will tell you that it's pretty much tap water. A majority of them, not all of them. My favorite is Fiji water. That's just my thing. But the power of brand is something that a lot of people who jump into business without reading a business book, without taking time to understand the business side, without focusing on the business side, without saying, hey, I really want to understand business before I go into business, because I understand that even though I have been a consumer all of my life, the business side is much harder than I think it is. There has to be something I don't know. The average person thinks you buy low and sell high. And that works for drugs. I am drained. It's been a crazy week. I am drained. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a rough week. Check on your black friends. Just hit them up and be like, "You good, fam?" That's all you gotta do. I'm a little drained. Yeah, definitely. But I'm here for y'all because I promised y'all I'd be. So, just for those who watched the video, some things you got to really understand is everything is in your brand. And this is the part that people skip, right? They go right into business. They get a business card, their homeboy create a logo, and automatically they want to charge $2,000 for a video, but they have no brand. They have no reason for clients to feel comfortable or understand why they should even pay $2,000. I wasn't. I wanted to go out and grab some shots. I started to go out and do a little photography, but I didn't feel like the hassle. Not the hassle, but I didn't feel like being in the middle of it with a bunch of gear getting trampled, or getting tear gas all on my gear. So I didn't want to do all that. But yeah. So for those who watched the video, today I wanted to kind of talk about ways to show value or ways to build a brand. I show value, but you show value with a brand, right? Because I wanted to make sure in the video I kind of informed you that, but I didn't want to leave you hanging as far as, well, How do I build brand? How do I build my brand up, right? A brand has a lot to do with a combination of a few things: reputation, appearance, um, systems, and processes. Right. So if your brand is built on those things and a few other things, right? Your brand is built on how you carry yourself, the clothes that you wear, your culture. Your brand is a combination of a few things, and if you don't work on those things, if you're just like, I'm here to just do business, and you don't have an established culture, one of your camera guy may feel different than your director or your audio guy. So you guys have to, as the owner of the company, you have to establish culture. Are you guys having a buffering issue? I hope not. My speed or my a buffering issue. This is gonna be a short video. We're gonna do about 30 minutes today. I got family in town. I kind of want to get to them, but I wanted to make sure I didn't leave you guys hanging. So some of the ways to build your brand, right? I tell people all the time, things is like your vehicle, right? Is your vehicle wrapped? Do you have a magnet or something on your vehicle to show your brand? Do you have clothing? Do you have logos placed? Do you have hats maybe? Some people wear lanyards to show, hey, this is the company I'm with, just to show people and make people feel comfortable with an ID card and things like that. Give me a second because I'm trying to watch the feed to make sure I don't, Some people have lanyards. Some people have hats. You want to do something to show the brand, right? You want to have a slogan. You want to have a saying. You want to have something below your logo to express what your mission or a mission statement. Those are things to help build brand. You want to make sure that when you send out an invoice, your brand is on it. It's not just saying invoice, pay me, but it fits in and blends in with your culture. Those are things that are important to build and brand. These are little subconscious things that will help you kind of build a place in the client's mind. It'll increase value as well, and it'll make you seem like you're worth the money you're asking for. Again, I use the analogy all the time. Right now, you're just a guy in the alley trying to get $1,000 for a $2,000 TV, and they don't want to pay it. But if you had a store that was well lit, it was bright, and everybody had their names on their shirts, and there was bright parking spots, you can charge $3,000 for that $2,000 TV. And companies who have been successful and in business know this, right? There were companies that were, they didn't change because the idea of brand and what's cool and what's not changes over time. I'll give you an example. When was the last time you walked into Sears and you saw the dim lighting in Sears? Like, what's going on? You saw all the boring tan shelves, right? Sears, Kmart's, those companies didn't do a good job with keeping up with great branding and keeping up with, the times. Then a company like Best Buy come in and it's bright. They're using LED lights. They got TVs everywhere. They got music going. Those companies change with the time and they look like a more modern brand. So instantly you feel like if you go to Best Buy, you're going to get a newer TV than if you went to Kmart or Sears. It just feels that way. They can sell the same model TV. It's just instantly when you walk into a Best Buy, you feel like you're getting the newest brand or the newest model possible. But if you go into Sears, you feel like it's a clearance area. It's some old. Is this year's model or is it last year's model? I don't want to pay good money for last year's model. So things like that help you build your brand. It's important that you get your color palette down. Your colors are aligned. Your message is aligned. And those are things that help show value. Now you can go ask for the big bucks. You can't ask for the big bucks if you're John Smith Photography. Everybody on my team got different clothes. We showed up in different cars. You can't do that. Our invoice just say invoice. Our business card is a Vistaprint template. Your brand is not there. You have not established your brand. When I look online, I don't see good reviews. I don't see information. There isn't enough valuable copy, so wording and text to explain what makes you different, what sets you apart. So you have to invest in that. And that's the part where if you don't have the understanding of business, if you haven't taken the time to really dive into a lot of business books, you'll overlook that part. You'll think, well, I got a good camera, I'm good at what I do, pay me. And it don't work that way. People feel comfortable with brands. And like I stated in the video, Uber has done a great job at building a brand to the point where you'll get in the car with a stranger simply because they're an Uber driver. Now, I don't know if you ever drove for Uber or not, but for those of you who have, you understand that the background check ain't really about nothing. The background check is trash money. However, you feel comfortable getting in the car with these people simply because they're Uber. Going to Uber, he said going to Sears felt like a blast. It felt like going back in time when you go to Sears. And it's when you look at go to Sears and look at what are they getting wrong, right? A majority of it is lighting. Something that little. They they're not making the money they used to. And you go in there and it just looks dingy. It ain't really a lot of windows. It looks dingy. You go into a Best Buy that's bright. The front of the store is usually windows. It's just a brighter atmosphere. You feel comfortable. You feel confident. You don't feel like something shady is going on. It feels much better. Sears look like they're going to be around for 4 more years, and that's it. Just going into it. Now, Sears used to be the king of appliances and tools, but they're starting to slip in that area too because, you can go to other places. Best Buy got appliances now. Walmart's starting to carry tools, and you go into Home Depot. Home Depot looks a lot better than a Sears. Home Depot is bright. It's clean. They put people in bright orange outfits. So it's all about the branding and how you look. You'll spend more at Home Depot than you would at Sears because you feel confident and comfortable at Home Depot. It's their brand. Their orange is construction orange for a reason, right? Because you're constructing something when you come to Home Depot. It fits into their brand. So it's something you got to think about as you build your brand. Good looking out. I got some people that don't like this time. I got this time. I got an early time and I got a later time on Thursday. So I'm glad you feel like that. Wait, there was another one. That's the one I wanted to show. Good looking out. Sears definitely feel run down, at least before it closed here. There's a few here. Sears, when Sears and Kmart merged, it was a match made in heaven because they were the same company just about. I don't know why they did it. I would have merged with somebody newer. If I was Kmart, I would have maybe merged or tried to get bought out by Target or somebody. Look at Target. Target, people think Walmart killed Kmart. If you're in an area where there was a Kmart, people think Walmart killed Kmart. Target really killed Kmart. And the reason Walmart can't defeat Target is because Target looks like a modern place to shop, but just a little more expensive. But Target looks more. You ever go into Target? You don't go into Target looking to get a really good deal. You go into Target looking to get exactly what you want at a price you're willing to pay for it. Walmart is the deal place. It's bins and all kind of grab stuff, and you go through the checkout. It's 20 different thousand products. Target is like that a little bit, but not as much. It's just a little more. They have a little more class about building their brand, and they work to be that because yes, they want a different demographic than what Walmart has. They built that demographic. They don't want the people who are super price shoppers. They want people who want quality. They offer quality. They offer quality in a smaller location. You're just gonna get more quality with Target, but they built that brand. So imagine if you and the guy next to you are photographers, right? Are they Walmart or are you Target? Who is who? You both sell the same thing. You can get the same items at Walmart. You can get at Target. I want to say about 90% of the stuff. In fact, you can probably get more items at Walmart than you can at Target, other than Walmart or Target exclusives. Now, you're sitting next to another photographer. What are you? Are you Walmart or are you Target? What have you done to make yourself Target? Because Walmart is about doing 20 jobs for $200 each. Target is trying to do one $4,000 job, one $3,500 job. So to get there, you have to understand how important brand is and finding ways to build your brand. As you build your brand, you begin to show value. You can't just say, this is what we sell toothpaste, because Walmart and Target are both screaming, we sell toothpaste. That's like you saying, I shoot video. So, well, I got 30,000 different toothpastes compared to I got the top 5 best toothpastes. So if you're looking for if you're looking for good toothpaste, you come to Target. If you're looking for a variety of a bunch of cheap stuff to save money, you go to Walmart. Don't get me wrong, to each his own. But I want to attract people who are Target shoppers, because I feel like my skill set is up there where I can charge those prices, but it comes with building the brand. One thing I preach when it comes to building the brand is having an understanding of how you appear to clients. How do your brand appear to clients? Do you have the right pictures? Do you have the right copy on your website? Do you have the right videos on your website? It comes back to one thing. The first thing your clients see, what impression do you leave clients the first time you see them? The first time you see them, or they see you, what do they leave with? Is it a bunch of hot clips to bad music? Is it 2,000 pictures to go through on your page? Is it too much text? Your website is everything. MTB, voiceover artists. I use Fiverr. I just listen to some people. Listen, let me be real when it comes to voiceover. Right? You got friends that are doing voiceovers. Let me be really, 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 really honest with them, because I get a lot of emails from people who are voiceover artists that want to get hired. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Fiverr has murdered that industry. And I don't mean murdered in a bad way. I mean murdered as in what Uber has done to taxis. I don't see myself as a content creator that needs a voiceover spending $300-400 on a voiceover from somebody when I can spend $50 and get it. Unless you are Morgan Freeman, the guy that's doing Let's Getting Ready to Rumble. Those are the only guys with selective voices. Those are the only guys who are getting big money for voiceovers. In fact, you can go on Fiverr and get a guy to impersonate Morgan Freeman on Fiverr for cheaper than it is to get a regular person anywhere else. I had some really good voiceovers on Fiverr. So it's just a night and day difference. Yes, insert James Earl Jones. Definitely. Gotta insert him in there. And you can get people to impersonate these voices on Fiverr. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It's almost cheaper to go to, what's the Michael Buffer? Yes, that's Mr. Let's Get Ready to Rumble. If you ever heard of an app called Cameo, where you can pay stars to say stuff? I don't know if you ever heard of that app, but there's a lot of stars. I'm not gonna say they're all washed up, but it's a lot of stars who you can pay and they'll record a video on your phone for you. Like you can reach out to, like, the last time I checked, it was like Hulk Hogan on there. You can get Hulk Hogan and tell your kids happy birthday. It's really him, but what's dope about them is they get to sit around and charge $250 for a birthday message, do 12 of them in a day in an hour and go back to sleep. So for me, voiceovers, Fiverr has just worked for me. Not even just voiceovers. What I like about it is I can get a voiceover. I can get somebody to do the voiceover and then have them do it in multiple languages. They'll translate it for me. So if I got a video for a client and sometimes we work with clients that want to do training and they want international training, I can get multiple versions of that voiceover in the same voice that's translated to different languages. What I like about that is, for me, and I'll give you a little tidbit, a little secret on how to do this. I understand English, a little bit of Spanish, but I can have them record English in bars, right? So they'll give me the first 30 seconds. Now, because instead of giving me one long thing and I don't know where to edit it, I don't know how to edit it, I'll have them give me the same 30 seconds in English and give me that same 30 seconds in Spanish. Usually I'll make it shorter than that. I'll make it about 15 seconds. So give me a sentence in English, Give me that same sentence in Spanish. So I know one is English, one A is Spanish, one B is Russian, one C is Portuguese, and it's the same 15-second. So I can still edit. And sometimes some languages are longer, like Spanish is typically longer than English. So I'll know within that bar what's being said and what I should show. Because if it's a language I don't understand, they could be talking about one thing, I could be showing the wrong thing. If you just got one long continuous audio clip. I scripted it myself. But you could have somebody write it for you. So back to brand, ways to show brand. Start thinking about vehicles, right? Find you a little van, find you a cargo van. If you get to that point, not now, but look in the future, thinking about a cargo van, right? Wrap your cargo van or put a magnet on your cargo van. Or if you got a car, put a magnet on your car. There's nothing there. Listen, nothing makes you seem worth what you're, when you show up on a set for a client. Like I remember we had a shoot that was in a landfill, right? I got hard hats already because I do a lot of construction stuff. So I own the hard hat and I got the logo on the hard hat. So we show up we had cold weather, military call it cold weather gear, but we had jackets with the logos on them. I got my green vest to go on top of it, which is like a construction vest with the logo on it. I got a hard hat with the logo on it. And I got a van that's wrapped. So when people, we show up and they're like, I get it now. You're worth every penny. And we're getting gear and we're getting steady cams and we're at a landfill, but we look the part. We look like Comcast. We look like Roto-Rooter. We look like Best Buy Geek Squad. We look like companies who charge a premium rate to come out and do what we do. We're not showing up in 6 different cars and everybody's dressed in, she got on leggings, he got on jogging pants, he got on cargo shorts, he got on a flannel. We look like the A-team getting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't look like we're together. So, that's something to think about. Good looking out, Driven Films. I appreciate it. YouTube is starting to finally pick back up for me as far as on subscribers because 78% of my traffic, like 78% of my views come from subscribers. That says a lot because it used to be a time where it was the opposite. That says I'm doing the right thing and people appreciate what I'm doing. So I love it. I appreciate your support. He said, I got an E250 work van. Yes, show up with that E250. Get you a nice E250. E250 is a cargo van, and show up with that bad boy and put the logo on the side and let people know that you're worth what you're doing. It's just a way to show value, to build the brand. You'd be surprised at how many times that truck is parked somewhere and people come down to see, what are you guys filming? I see a film crew out here. And that's a good way for you to establish business, especially when I do a lot of stuff in like strip malls. When I do a lot of stuff in strip malls, it's good. I like to park my truck front and center. I get some cones. I'll block off some stuff, really for advertising purposes. I'm going to be honest with you. To wrap your truck, you can get what's called a quarter wrap, a half wrap, a 3/4 wrap, or a complete wrap. It differs by place and by vehicle. The average price is normally around $2,000. Now you can get a half wrap for $15, $11, or quarter wrap, or just get your logos put on. And you ain't got to listen. Start where you can start. Start where you can start. Don't worry about going all the way out. Just start where you can start. Go get you. I'm gonna tell you some vehicles. In fact, I may do a video on good work vehicles that you can buy real cheap. Like if you look at the Chevy HHR, the Chevy HHR is a very good work vehicle. If you can get a cargo version. If I can find one that I can show you. R is a really good cargo van that they are dirt cheap. You probably can get one for about $2,000, $3,000, something like that. So let me see if I can find one. I'll just show you a picture because these are one of them trucks that you see, but you don't really notice it until somebody pointed out. So let me see if I can get that bad boy loaded, if it'll load for me. Hold up. Here we go right here. Nope, that ain't showing it. Oh, wait, there you go. So that's a Chevy HHR, right? Cargo van. Those things are dirt cheap. You can find one for, you know, you can find one for $2,000, if not a little cheaper. But they're decent. Good on gas, fit all your gear in it, fit another person in it, you're good to go. So just an idea, just a place to start when it comes to, when it comes to building out the brand. And it's a pretty good truck. Repair is dirt cheap because it's pretty much not a Chevy Sonic, but it's kind of their Cavalier line of, it's pretty cheap. You got Malibu parts, things like that. It's cheap if you want to get into one. So something to think about. If you don't want to start with the vans are, I like the Ford Transits. I think next will be a Sprinter, but Ford Transits are it for me. That's what I like. Because they're good on gas. I'm not hauling nothing heavy. I'm just hauling a lot of gear, which the average car can do. Ford Transit Connect is the way to go. Okay. All right, Frozen. So Frozen booked me for a consultation. We kind of went over some things and gave him some direction on ways to grow his business. It's, for me, I like to give out information that can affect everybody, but sometimes when I can sit down and look at your area, what you're doing, what do you want to do, I can give you information to help you go in the right direction. And Frozen definitely, I kind of like to leave you with a little homework, because it takes time. I can't tell you everything. It takes time to build it. So yeah, definitely, Frozen. Let me know when you're ready. Definitely got to do that. Let me put my graphics on here. Because we always doing that. There we go. So just something to think about. Also, we just launched an affiliate program because we get a lot of people asking about affiliate. I wasn't thinking about it. However, if you go to Flash Film Academy, there is a free course, which allows you to sign up for the affiliate program. So the affiliate program pretty much means if you have a platform, if you got a Facebook page or whatever, and you share a link to courses and people buy that link, you make 25%, which is $100 for every course that they buy from your link. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out Flash Film Academy. So I'm going to go over a few more things because I don't want to keep you guys today. There's a lot going on. I got family in town I want to go rap with. So let's see. If I only had one camera and no LLC, what should I do first? The LLC. Listen, think about it like this, right? Always invest in your business first, right? In your business and in this first. This is 1, business is 2. Gear is like 5 on the list. Gear is not that important because you can rent gear. You can't rent business knowledge. You can't rent an LLC. Gear is low on the totem pole, right? You can give me a 5D Mark II and I can shoot just about the same stuff I'm shooting with the gear I have now. Now, the gear I have now makes it easier. I get a little bit better quality because I know what I'm doing. And, it's just like better golf clubs don't necessarily make you a better golfer. I mean, they do, but it comes from, if you're a bad golfer, great equipment won't help you. If you're a bad football player, a better football or better gloves won't really help you, right? It's about who you are and your ability. LLC is going to be first. Can't make money. I can say you can't make money. Legally, you want to protect yourself more than you want gear. Gear depreciates. Gear will never be top of my list. I can rent gear. I can get a job established, my website established, my demo reel established, and bring in traffic and rent the gear. I can rent the gear to go shoot the job. Plus, a lot of times when you get big companies, like I've worked with companies like a lot of colleges, like Louisville, Kentucky, right? They do wire transfer, but they're not going to transfer it to your personal account. They're not going to do it to your personal account. You give them an account that say John Smith, they're going to be like, let me think about it. They're not going to do it. They're going to send it to your bank, your business account. Your business account needs to be somebody need to be able to write a check to your business, not to you. You will lose, that's a way to kill your brand and lose credibility. Imagine if you went to Best Buy to buy a TV and he said, hey, bro, just write the check out to me. People will look at you like you're crazy. So it's just something to think about as you build your brand. That's another way you can lose a big client. Big clients like, nah, I mean, what's the biggest check you wrote to a person compared to a company? The biggest money you ever spent in your life went to a company. It didn't go to a person. The cost of your house, the cost of your rent every month goes to a company. It don't go to a person. So people don't feel comfortable giving people money. They just don't, right? I'll give you an example of that. eBay. eBay is the middleman. eBay is the brand to help solidify the people that you're buying from, make you feel comfortable with the people that you're buying from. Amazon does that too. Amazon do it so well, sometimes you don't even know you're buying from a direct third party. You think you're buying it from Amazon because Amazon has established the brand and put themselves and shielded that little mom and pop shop to help you feel comfortable in buying from them. Driven Films, great question. I'm going to tell you this. There's a little bit of a scam going on right now. I'm going to say it's a scam, but if you don't know, you don't know. So let me give you this. There's a lot of companies that are selling gear insurance, right? They're selling gear insurance. Buy different gear insurance. Buy our gear insurance, protect your gear. I would not do that. I'm going to tell you what I would do. If you're a renter or a homeowner, you have homeowners insurance. You have renters insurance. If you got car insurance, you got car insurance. What I would do under your homeowners or renters insurance, if you notify them that you have camera gear that you're using for business or private use, they will have a policy or they will add on, which is something, it's going to be really cheap, an extra $3 a month to protect your camera gear. Even if it's in your car somewhere or even if it's away or if it's broken, you can break your camera and they will cover it. That's the route I would go. That way you got everything in your house covered. You got a real company that you've heard of that you can go after, and not rinky-dink Rob who's going to protect your camera gear. But if you don't have pictures, x-rays, receipts, and a picture of your grandma holding it, we're not covering it. Or we're going to give you a depreciated value of your brand new, what's the latest camera to drop? What's the last camera to drop? C300, C500 Mark II. Well, it depreciated. So we're going to give you enough money to go buy you a used C100. So that is the way you want to go. I would not go with a separate company. I would go with, and now listen, you can have it covered on your homeowners. And the best way to do it is homeowners, renters insurance. That's the easiest and best way to do it. Tell them that hey, I'm running a business. I use it. They will be fine with that. Even on your car insurance, if you get a certain amount of stuff covered in your car insurance, if you're saying I'm using my vehicle for commercial use sometime, for business use, this is just extra added coverage. Home renters for sure. The car part is extra added coverage. If you say, hey, I have equipment in my car from time to time, you can add on a little bit additional to your car insurance. And it doesn't cost you much more. It'll cost you $5 more a month, $6 more a month. It's the equivalent of saying, hey, I got wheels on my car. I got radios and all of that. I got an extra sound system. I got all this extra stuff I've done in my car. I want to make sure all that's covered. You can say, hey, I usually ride around with equipment in my car. Cool. CRP Media, good looking out, brother. Appreciate your super chat. You the first one of the day on the super chat. So when it comes to I don't want to go with, like I said, Rob's photography insurance, and I don't know where they're at. They're stationed in the Philippines somewhere. No knock on the Philippines. They're stationed in some place I can't even go to. They're stationed in Russia or Australia. They're just away from where I am. I can walk into, a State Farm location, or I can walk into, I'm former military, so I'm USAA or Navy Federal. I can walk into one of those places and talk to somebody. So especially if you already have renters or homeowners insurance and you already have that established. Plus, you'll probably get a discount. If, let's say you got car insurance through somebody that owns that you have renter's insurance through, or you have car insurance and you want to add renter's insurance, you'll start getting discounts. So there is a difference. So there's a different insurance that I have for events, right? It's called Act Insurance. So I go through USAA for everything. But if you're doing an event, that insurance is different, right? I would encourage you to get what's called, it's called event insurance by a company called ACT. Look up their insurance. You can buy it per event or you can buy it for the year. Now, I would always suggest that you buy it per event. And this is what you do. For me, it's an add-on for my client, right? If they want me to have an event insurance, they're going to pay $100 premium, which it only costs me $34. So I make a profit. Now, why do I make the client pay for it? Because most clients want to go on as like a beneficiary if something happens. They want to control what amount your policy needs to be. So they usually want a $2 million policy, and they want to get access to the funds if something happened. If they pay a speaker to speak and that speaker trips on your wireless lav mic cord and breaks a foot, and he wants to sue the company, they want to be able to go after you to help recoup some of those funds. If they're on your insurance policy and it's a $2 million policy, they don't even got to worry about fighting you for it. They don't got to worry about bleeding your bank account dry to get it. They can go straight to that policy. So it protects you and it protects them. Now, it's up to the client on whether or not they want it. I'll make sure that they've chosen not to do it. Wireless lav mic cord, people tripping over cordless phones. So it's just something to think about. Are there shoots you shouldn't get insurance for, like interviews? So on my proposal in the contracts, that we don't have insurance because it's an option for you. I would only get, the only time where I would really, 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 really push event insurance if it's a big event, if there's a lot of people there. If you're doing a one-on-one interview, no. Just make sure you don't got a lot of cables running around. If it's a big event, it's going to be 3,000 people there. Y'all running audio from the podium back to the sound guys, or y'all got cables everywhere, or you're doing a multi-camera setup and they're plugged into the wall or whatever. Yes. If you're running a bunch of XLR cables, yes. SDI cables, yes. If you're doing like a sling where it's wireless, you got 3 cameras that are battery operated and just the sling and your tablet is plugged in, maybe not. But if you have a lot of people, yes. If I'm going into a business, it's 30 people in there, no. If I'm setting up in the corner, we're doing interviews, usually, no. I usually don't do that. It's just something that I usually don't do that. So, but on big events, if I'm doing corporate event, like corporate highlight footage, yes. Something to think about when it comes to insurance. Plus, listen, having insurance or having that ability to offer that to your client is something that shows value. It's something that helps build that brand because, hey, the other guys wasn't offering me this. You mean to tell me if I go through you guys, I can add insurance? For insurance, it's a company called ACT, A-C-T. If you Google ACT Insurance, let me see if I can find the link for you guys. It's for art craft show liability. So it's for like trade shows and things like that. I have a link here. That's what I do. Am I using manual focus most of the time? I'm using manual focus 90% of the time. I'm using the C100 right now. It has dual pixel autofocus. I don't use it because it's the Mark I, and the autofocus is only right here. So if I'm doing this and doing that, no. And I'm shooting at 1.8 right now. That's the blurred background we got going on. I want to buy something. What do you recommend? I just need to spend coin on something that will help. Wait. Okay. Help build my brand, your website. Spend money on your website. Get your website right. Get your website right. Yeah, a lot of people trip on wireless lav mics, bro. It happens. I have footage. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna post it. Maybe in the member section. I had a guy that was walking up on stage one time, and it was like a big event. Like it was like a big event at a college, and it was packed. And dude was walking up the stage and straight splat, like going up the steps. He was an older guy, so it wasn't as funny at first. I mean, it wasn't funny, period. But once they checked on him, make sure he was good, he cracked a joke or two, and then, you know, you could laugh. But it was bad, bro. How can you build your website with a small portfolio? It depends on your niche, right? I tell you all the time, don't overly give them too much. If they got to come to your channel, your page, and go through 500 pictures, you're killing yourself. Because they're going to find something in a few of those pictures that they don't like, right? They're going to do something in those video pictures that they don't like because it's not their niche. Unless you got 500 pictures of taking pictures of Coke cans or food products, you're going to find something they don't like. So don't kill yourself with too many pictures. In the future, yeah, I can definitely, I got a segment coming up where I'm focusing on services that I use. So yeah, I can definitely do that. Because like I said, I don't purchase annual. If the way I would purchase annual, if I had a contract with a company that did trade shows and they said, we want you at every trade show, you know, twice a month, then I would do annually. But I don't do annually. I let the client pay for it. Look, that's something you should be making a profit off of. I'm not going to put your name on my insurance policy if I got to pay for it, if I got to eat the price. No. Why would I spend $40 to put you on my insurance policy and something happen, you getting half of the $2 million or whatever, and I got to pay for it? You're going to pay for it. Period. Just like when you go rent it, that's like renting a car, right? The car place, they got insurance to cover them. But if you want insurance to cover you, you got to pay for that. I'm not going to pay for that. You can pay extra for insurance. So that's something you got to think about. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Appreciate you from last time too. Video Husky review coming anytime soon. Yes. Working on that. Working with them on that. I plan on doing a whole lot more with Video Husky. Video Husky I used it. I demoed it for a month and a half. It was great. It was just with the pandemic, I pulled back on everything just to sit tight. But I definitely plan on using Video Husky. It's a no-brainer. Video Husky is the truth. Video Husky is the truth. I got nothing bad to say about it. I mean, it was, if you got deadlines, you want stuff done, Video Husky is the truth. I don't know when those guys sleep. I don't know how their sleeping arrangement is. But them dudes, if you be like, I need a video by Monday at 8, they're going to give it to you Sunday at 6 so you can get your revisions done and have it by Monday at 8. Those boys are the truth. Definitely. There was a question I seen about macro photography. Is there any money in macro photography? Depends. If you go after businesses that have a need for it, like they have products that need that up close and personal, then yes, probably a lot of chip makers, a lot of food photography you can do that with, but it just depends on the business. You got to go after the business that needs that type of photography. Yes. So something to think about. Yep. Plus commission. Any advice on paying taxes in your business? Get someone to handle it all for you, right? You would spend too much time trying to figure it out, and it's cheaper to get an expert to come in and say, okay, let's do it. I used to, for a short time, I used the service through, I don't even know if GoDaddy still got it, but GoDaddy had an accountant service. that will link to your checking account, your business checking account, and they would literally do everything. They would contact you and say, hey, is this an expense? What is this? I'm gonna see if I can find it and maybe do a video on it. I started out using them. I don't even see it on their website. I don't think they even advertise it until you get deep into it. Yeah, I gotta see if I can find it, but I used them for a long time. And they would look at every purchase on your business credit card, and they would once they knew what it was, like they will automatically say what it was. You know, they can tell this is business, personal business. This is food. They can categorize it. They were on it, and it was just smooth selling. Is there any money in construction, photography, and videography? Yes, there's a lot of money in construction, photography, and videography. It's one of those niches that is dry. It's dry. Nobody's thinking about it, and there's a lot of money on it. The big money with that is time lapse. People want to see time lapse. People are spending millions of dollars on buildings. They want to see it go from dirt to something nice. I've done a lot of construction photography and videography, but be prepared to get you a GoPro connected to a battery that'll let it last for 30 days or something, and check on it periodically. But there's big money in construction, before and after, and time lapse. So yeah, we'll get ready to wrap up in a second. Let me see something. Have you noticed when you finish doing a live YouTube, it takes up to 2 days to be? For me, it doesn't. It usually take about 3 or 4 hours. Like this video should probably be live about, it's almost 2 o'clock here. It'll probably be another 3 hours before it's live. The problem is I do these 2-hour videos and it takes a long time to process. So it should be up. When you do studio shoots, do you tether photography or not? Most times, yes. Because I got client there, I want them to see it. Yes. Because I use the A7R3 with the USB-C connector. I got a long USB-C cable, and I tether like crazy. Fun Film say he driving and listening. He said he don't have a free hand to pay his taxes right now. Sorry, it's all good. Even though you typed that, I'm still going to assume you don't have a free hand. I'm just messing with you. Seems like there's a big market open for real estate testimonials and about videos in Talis. That is very true. Real estate testimonials everywhere, right? Because 98% of the people who got a camera that's thinking real estate, they're just thinking taking pictures of houses. They're not thinking about telling the real estate agent story. They're not thinking about creating content and promotional content for the real estate agent. They're not thinking about getting testimonials from people who work with a real estate agent. They're just thinking, how can I take pictures of the house? Hey, CRP Media got you covered, Fun Film. Got that Fun Film driving tax. So there is a lot of other ways to make money other than taking pictures of houses in real estate. It's just that people don't think outside of taking pictures of the house. And for me, that's the last thing I'm trying to do. I let them do that with their iPhone. I don't care about that. It's hard, unless you got $1 million house, it's hard to convince somebody not to take a picture with their cell phone compared to your camera and houses. Like, because you got to stage it, you got to move it. They don't think about that. They don't care. They don't want to split commission. However, for a promo video that may help bring in more clients than just that one house, it's worth it. You can create a video that's going to more people to buy multiple houses from you. So the cost of this video will be spread out over multiple houses. Or I can try to hit you over the head to take a part of your commission for this one house, which makes more business sense. Where can I get the biggest ticket as a content creator? If I can get you to spread that cost over multiple houses, I can make more money. And I can probably come back and do it yearly or quarterly or get a Christmas message or a holiday message. So it makes better business sense to approach them that way than to take pictures of their house, of a house they have for sale. Fun Film, I hope you're doing the speed limit, brother. So many real estate agents know they can take point and shoots or use their iPhone or get a panoramic shot with their iPhone or add some 3D attachment. You know, you're correct. They can't fly drones, but they almost got a kid or a cousin that can. When drones hit Best Buy, I knew it was over with, unless you do something dope like Flying Ryan. But approach them other ways. Do something cinematic. Approach the real estate business, the office, and work out something for the office. And then, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I did once. I approached a real estate office, right, and did a commercial for the whole office. The commercial was $5-6 grand, right? Then I offered each real estate agent the ability to have their version of that commercial. They pay $500 or $600. It was probably 20 real estate agents there. All of them didn't opt in, but I got like 8 or 9. You know, see what I'm saying? So I was able to do an overall video where we did drone shots. And at the end, it may just have them folding their arms and putting their number, you know, hi, my name is such and such. I work this area. And if you go with me, you're going to get blah, 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 blah. Give me a call. Here's the number below. So it'll have the same intro. Here at such and such, we pride ourselves on blah, 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 blah. Boom, boom. We have the best agents and yada, yada, yada. And then at the end is, and I'm such and such. And here you could, that's what I would do. That's a solution. So you just got to approach it differently. You got to approach it differently. So that's a good question right here. Wait, oh man. So your website doesn't need to include your niches. I'm not going to say it don't need to say it. It needs to be tailored to that audience, right? I advertise to businesses, right? I advertise to businesses that want to promote a product, service, or an event. That's who I advertise to. If you see my stuff and you don't fall into that, I probably didn't advertise to you. You probably came searching for me. So it doesn't necessarily have to say, hey, I do this, but it needs to be worded in a way to appeal to those people. If I'm advertising, I'm marketing a dentist, I don't need to say, hey, I'm not saying it didn't have to. It didn't hurt. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying you don't have to necessarily come forward and say, hey, dentist, this is a dentist site only. If you're not a dentist, get out of here. However, you can word it in lingo and have dental images and things like that where they can identify with. Testimonials from other dentists, things like that. You can definitely do that. So it doesn't have to necessarily say, click here to do this. If your niches are way far apart, you probably need to do that. You're trying to squeeze it on one website, you probably need to make people make a selection before they move forward. You know, it's just something you may need to do. Love the consistent videos every time, live, regular, uploaded. I get motivated again and continue working on the business side. Keep it good looking out. I've never been called GOAT before until I got on YouTube. I appreciate it. So make sure you create that solution, man. It's all about the solution. Let me run this. Let me run this one more time as well, because let me post this again. All right. That way I'm not getting no more messages. You'll be surprised at the messages I get when I get off. Or like now, sometimes people watch and they go to the gram or go to the website and they're like, hey, what about, and if you ever see me check my watch a lot of times, I'm getting notifications. Guys, we ain't gonna keep it too long because we're over on time. It was supposed to be 30 minutes and we're closer to an hour. But keep in mind the importance of building that brand. Don't worry about that gear, man. Go rent it. Go borrow it. Gear don't make you. Gear don't bring you in enough money to buy gear. Right? A brand, you can have the best brand in the world and shoot with 4K pocket cinema cameras. You can have a trash brand and have an Alexa and nobody cares. Because the majority of your clients is not going to ask for what camera you're using. Some will, not going to lie, but very few. Most of the times, the people who ask what camera I use are production companies who are not in the area that want me to cover something for them. And they're like, hey, we shot this with a Canon. We need footage to match. Can you match it? Sure. So just something to think about. Build the brand, understand the brand. And when you build the brand, you'll build value and you'll get the money you want per shoot. You'll make a lot more money per shoot. I'm not doing $50, $200 shoots. I'm not doing it. I'm doing $5,000, $2,000 shoots. You know what I mean? And you can work smarter and not harder. That way you can dedicate more time. Because I like to have time. I want to dedicate time to a project where I can make it dope. I don't want to have to rush through it. That's just me. That's the artist in me. I don't want to have to rush through it. But the good thing about having a brand and being well established, like a Mercedes or a Target, whenever times get tough, all I got to do is start a sale. All I got to do is go on sale. The cheap guy can't do nothing when times get tough, but lose money. The guy who got all the profit and built the brand up to be everything, Mercedes can just lower the price of a car and it'll sell. That's why you don't see a lot of old Mercedes on the lot, because they can move it. Cheap guys, they can't get you. Once price is the selling point, once they use that car, they don't got another card to play other than losing money, other than trying to break even. So build the brand, make sure you got good profit margins, make sure you're making good money off things. If you offer insurance, make money off of it. You bring a second shooter, make money off of it. If you bring in a makeup artist, understand what they charge and make money off of it. You're a business. Stop doing favors. We don't do favors in business. Business is a cutthroat place for assholes. It's not a nice Care Bear place. It's just not. I don't want to tell you that you're going to be this sweet guy who, Orville Redenbacher, who created popcorn. If you're old enough to know who he was, you thought he was a sweet guy, but he wanted to kill your popcorn company. Everybody you think is nice. Wendy's wanted to kill McDonald's. Ronald McDonald's wanted to kill Burger King. Burger King wanted to kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the nice, sweet favor, thing you think when it comes to business. Business is a cutthroat environment where only the strong survive. So make sure you build your brand for war, and you build in the profits to make sure you can survive and buy new gear and spend money for advertising. If you're doing all this stuff and if you did 2 jobs this week and you don't got enough money for advertising and to pay your bills, what are you doing? You're not doing it right. So, if you go back and look at the video that I did on ways to, like how to spend your stimulus check on pretty much for $1,200, how can you get the business started? What should you invest in? There's a section where I talk about copy on that section, and there's a company or guy I go through on Fiverr that's excellent. Go check them out. All right, guys. If you learned anything on this video, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button, ask you to hit that share button. You know what I'm going to ask y'all to do this week? I'm going to ask y'all to invite people to just post the channel. I really appreciate that. YouTube, after the COVID thing, and YouTube kind of buried me a little bit until they came back and apologized and said, hey, we're sorry. We thought you were spewing, conspiracy stuff. Our algorithm picked up the fact that you said it 8 times in 2 minutes, and we buried your channel. We apologize for it. So it's growing. It's going back in the right direction. But if you get a chance, share a video with your friends, your Reddit groups, your Facebook pages, your Facebook groups. I will definitely see you guys in the next video. We got another video dropping in a few days. It's a review video talking about an item that I reviewed, which is sort of a slider, sort of not a slider, but make sure you definitely check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Definitely. Be safe. Be safe. If you got some black friends, call them. Just say, hey, man, you good? All right, just checking on you. See y'all in the next video.